This is Infection, the survival podcast recorded live on Tuesday, June 8th, 2021, episode 334. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another episode of Infection, the survival podcast. Infection is your source for the latest information on survival video games. We bring you the latest news, reviews, updates, and more each and every week. Actually, that's not even true. We don't even do that anymore. My name is Nick Craig. You can check out my website, nickcraig.com. You can listen to my morning radio program, 6 to 9 a.m. on 980 The Wave. Joining me, as he does each and every week, Mr. Brian, look, wearing a little bit of athletic gear, Brian. That's a little moisture-wicking shirt, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, the guns are out. Brian's going hard
here, so I figured it's not button-up weather anymore.
And
plus, I'm sitting at home, so I don't know.
Brian, I'll tell you this.
I don't know if I've worn this shirt on here before.
Brian, I gotta tell you this. You're looking like a snack.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for that. Thanks, yes.
Hopefully,
I can't really say much. We have slept in the same bed a couple times here, so we're pretty
Vegas,
close.
You know, we're like brothers, only closer. How are you, Brian?
I'm doing very well. First of all, let's go ahead and get the information out of the way really quickly. If you want to find me at Brian Aldridge on Gab or Parler, of course, my blog, biteoftech.com, and then go to our website. If you go to infectionpodcast.com, check out the right-hand side, and you'll notice it says join our server on Discord. And if you're interested in playing on our ARK servers, or you're interested in just being a part of the community, submitting news topics that you think we should be covering throughout the weeks, just jump in the Discord server, post it, or join whatever channel, and you'll be able to find them there, and you can contact us through that as well. Our Steam group gives notifications for the live show. Steam's kind of up and down on that, but I do post them every week. And then we have our video forms of the podcast. So if you want to watch here on Twitch, or if you want to do YouTube, BitChute, or DLive, those are all live. And then some of those have recordings after the fact that you can watch if you don't have time to catch us while we're doing the show. And then we'll have the podcast extras channel that Judd does, and that is a channel that has some of the pre and post shows that he's managed to edit and put up there. And we have also the audio form. So if you go to the lower right hand side, whatever platform you want to use, we've got lots of links for web-based apps, mobile apps, everything. And then follow along if you jump to the particular episode that we're going to be doing. So this one would be 334. You can click on the various links. We've got an audio player, video player in there, and all the things that we refer to throughout the show. So if you do that, that'll really help you to be able to see if you're listening and follow along. If you want to also subscribe star, we have Amazon, we have our Prime Gaming subs. There's a number of different ways that you can support the show. Amazon, if you want to do that, just go to infectionpodcast.com/support. And also you can click the link on there, or go to amazon.infectionpodcast.com or humble.infectionpodcast.com. I think that's
all right, Mr. Brian. Thank you very much. What's going on? Anything exciting going on in your world?
Well, in pre-show I mentioned it's our oldest's birthday today, so
very nice.
We're kind of doing a few things for that this afternoon. Another thing I wanted to talk about a little bit later is Tara's been playing not Elite Dangerous.
Sniper Elite.
No, the flying space game.
No Man's Sky.
She's been playing that, and so I've mostly been watching. I did play it for a little while, but I was kind of watching and just helping her since I've played through a lot of that. But it gave me the opportunity to see some of the new stuff and kind of see how it is now since they've done a lot of these updates recently. So at some point we do have some videos and things about their latest update, and I'll talk about that a little bit then.
All right.
But yeah. Other than that, it's been getting hot here. We've been swimming a lot.
That's good.
So that's good.
I've been doing the beach a little bit. Spent a busy weekend in the wonderful city of Greenville, North Carolina, and doing the old gig as always. So doing that. Well, we've got a kind of as Mel says, of course, drinking. Yeah. We got a kind of a bunch of interesting and weird news. Where do you you compiled the notes. Where do you want to start?
Okay, so let's start. Here's one that kind of caught me off guard. And it was something different. So Norton is releasing some new software. Now, you haven't heard Norton, for me, back in the early days when I got into computers was like you'd go to any store that sold any kind of software and there'd be Norton antivirus. I mean, it was one of the main products and things that people used. Well, their stocks have been jumping because they are going to be releasing new versions of a product called Norton 360 for gamers, which maximizes performance and then supposedly strengthens their security while gaming. And also, it's including some cryptocurrency things. So if you're part of the Norton 360 gamers for gamers, you have access to Norton Crypto 2, which is a way that you can farm cryptocurrency. It says safely through all of your devices while they're idle. So you can sit there and just have Norton run, and it'll sit there and mine cryptocurrency for you.
What?
Yes. This is what they're selling. So as game, but because what they're thinking is if you have the ability to game on your computer, you have enough hardware to actually do a little bit of mining.
Good
I think is
Lord.
the thinking.
Huh.
So it's just they're doing like game optimizers in it, which I don't know how much different that would be from, for instance, like GeForce, like the GeForce app experience. It goes through and will optimize settings. Yes, the good old program, all in one. And the thing is, it used to run like it was mining cryptocurrency while you're using it. I mean, you remember? Dude, I don't remember how old, slow.
Oh yeah,
these antiviruses were just lagging. It's like you're not even scanning right now, and just going through your interface is laggy. But so who knows?
Yeah, because and the reason those antiviruses used to be a bigger problem than they are now is because they were constantly scanning things, and on a 5,200 RPM spinning drive, this device this program is constantly querying data. So everything else you do on the machine is bogged down. It's not actually slowing down the machine per se. No. It's just making your disk read time and your disk access time incredibly delayed. That's why it's slow. With SSDs, it's less of an issue. But yeah, these pieces of McAfee and Norton suck.
Well, and that's something where before it used to be those were the main sources of antivirus. Microsoft eventually kind of started coming out with various antivirus products, which eventually turned into the current antivirus product that you have on Windows 10.
Yes, and the whole rest.
This antivirus thing is going to have to be solved a little bit differently because it needs access to the operating system. And, Microsoft has kind of taken over the antivirus. These other companies that were, offering all these security things are getting beaten out by a free product. And so I think they're having to come up with other ways to try to market and make money and offer their name. Because, Norton comes out with a Norton for gamers. And of course, everybody's gonna be like, oh, let's go get it. If you and I came out with Gamer Optimizer or something and we put it out, you're going to get a few people to download it. They just know if you release this product, no matter what it does under this brand, you're going to sell some. They're definitely going after. It's kind of odd that they're offering cryptocurrency services.
Sounds like what it's going to do is mine cryptocurrency in the background, and then they're going to take part of it, and you're going to keep part of it. If I had to guess, they're going to build a botnet of mining.
Yeah, because pretty much you install this on your various products, and then you can just have it sit there and mine cryptocurrency while you're gone. And I wonder. I would like to read the disclaimer. The thing that you're accepting before you do this, because this is going to be heating up machines. If anything goes wrong with this, it's going to be heating up machines and causing issues. So I'm sure they have a lot of protections in place, but this will be interesting to see if any machines get fried because of this, because they didn't have proper cooling. This thing didn't detect that the temperature changed because there maybe some sort of a temperature gauge isn't correctly set somewhere. I don't know. It seems like an odd thing to get into now from such a big company. It seems like there's a lot of better ways to get into. I don't know if cryptocurrency is
what
the
it
best
sounds
way.
like to me is you've got a bunch of old, out of touch people at Norton going, cryptocurrency.
This is the new thing.
No, the kids. They're playing their video games and their antivirus. Oh yes, and everybody. But what they don't realize is, frankly, nobody buys Norton anyway, and no gamers, I would hope, are stupid enough to buy it either. So, Norton Game Optimizer.
And their optimizer. So the Norton 360 for gamers will run on Windows 10 in S mode, and you can run it on ARM processors. So
right.
so you'll have people mining cryptocurrency on a little ARM device. It's just like a router and things like that. This will be interesting to see where it goes. It also does dark web, so it's got like Norton LifeLock that it puts in there.
Yeah, they own LifeLock.
Yeah, they own it now. So then you get dark web monitoring. You get LifeLock, which monitors game launchers like Blizzard's launcher, Epic's launcher. So it actually monitors those as well. So they've integrated them.
Brian, level up your protection without compromising your game.
Yeah. I mean, these are all things that, they're all good ideas. As far as it's a good idea to kind of keep track of whether or not something's been.
How does it stop you? Oh, it must be a VPN too, because it says it's against DDoS attacking. So maybe it's against doxing. That's retarded. Exposing.
Well, probably because it's just a VPN.
It is a VPN.
Yeah. So that whole thing is a VPN right there.
But
which is protecting your IP address.
But you don't want to game with a VPN.
Well, okay. So I've heard conflicting things of that topic. I've heard where if you can get a VPN that is closer to the server that you're trying to connect to, you may get a direct path. You may get locked onto a certain path, and you won't have random, as maybe you're hopping between various servers, you're less likely to have random bad hops. I've heard that, but of course you're doing everything through VPN. So it's like in an optimal situation, if you have good internet and everything is good, the VPN's not going to help you. But if you have internet, remember, like we were getting weird, I think paths at your connection before. That it would help if it's far enough out. Whatever hop. If you can bypass it with a VPN, maybe. That's the only thing I can really think of. But it doesn't make sense overall, because doing any extra work is just going to slow down and take away from, unless you're somehow routing it around a future problem that can happen.
They will sell none of these. It's way too expensive. It's just stupid. So
yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So that's Norton. I saw that in the news, popped up, kind of caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting to hear anything about Norton, in their stock going up.
I can't wait for McAfee for gamers. That'll be the John McAfee over there when he's killing his neighbor, making McAfee for McAfee for gamers. Yes, good times.
Well, PH says, I don't think they're selling better hops, but what I'm talking about is there are other services doing this exact same thing, and that's what they're offering you. Now, with Norton, I'm not really seeing, they're saying, Hydra IP, they're giving more of the legitimate reasons, but the other ones that have had VPNs, what they do is have VPNs across a bunch of the United States, and you pick the VPN that's closest to the server of the game you're playing, and supposedly gives better performance that way.
I want to thank our friend Saul Greatman for hitting us up with the 38-month resubscription on Twitch. Saul, thank you very much, my friend. It is greatly appreciated. All right, Brian, what else we got on?
All right,
here?
So
little bit of
to another thing here, because I know this is your favorite product, your future,
very much so.
The future.
Mm-hmm.
But Stadia is now going to be included on the Android TV devices.
Holy moly!
So before, you had to have a Stadia box, and I never understood why not just make it an app and sell it as a service. Why do you need to release hardware for things that everybody already has? These streaming devices, Roku's, and you've got, Fire TVs, all these different things. You don't need to create new hardware, and you already have Chromecasts. Just make a Chromecast that this is compatible with. Quit with the whole Stadia device thing. But here, they're kind of going that way now.
Well,
so they're going to be putting it on these other devices that run Android, because not everything was Android.
This is 2 years too late. This should have been from the start. This is what they should have done.
Oh yeah. But this now will run natively on the NVIDIA Shield TV. So they've got, I don't know why at this point, why not just release it for Android?
Well,
just sell it as a streaming service.
Well, but some of these cheaper brand TVs like TLC and whatnot may not have enough power. And I know the game isn't running on the TV, but you do need a minimum number of
stream consistently.
Yeah, exactly. You need to be able to stream consistently. So I can understand why it's not available on every device, but the fact that it still wasn't available on regular Chromecasts besides the the Chromecast Pro or whatever the cube looking one was made
Mhm.
absolutely no sense because these were
Yeah.
Google devices. So very stupid, very late,
Yep.
no chance of salvation with this, but they can continue to try, I guess.
There could, yeah, and we continue to kind of monitor the Stadia situation. At some point, they've got to shut this down. I mean, unless it does eventually become a purely software solution, to where they don't care what, as long as it's just an app that is released on all these places that can run these games. Unless that happens, I just don't see. I don't see that, and I think there's limitations because they don't want to sell a marketplace on, for instance, Android, the Android Google Play marketplace. They don't want you selling a thing that you can then sell inside of. I mean, that's part of what this whole Apple thing is kind of about, because they could make the app free and do all the internal sales, and using their own portals and doing everything else. They can't do that. I mean, there's restrictions for them to sell on all these marketplaces.
Yeah.
So, I think that's probably the reason why they are holding back from that. But that seems like the legitimate. Just sell it as a subscription service or something, kind of like what the Game Pass is. If you did it as a subscription service, you could release it and have it on Android devices, and people could do that and quit trying to sell games. That seems like it'd make more sense, because I assume their sales are very low still.
I don't think anybody would argue with that. I mean,
because I don't know anybody that has one personally.
Neither do
and
I.
I've never seen one in person other than what we saw at PAX,
which was 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago we saw some, and I haven't heard anybody say, "Hey, I'm using this." Nothing about the Stadia. So I can't imagine them keeping it going another year or two before it's wound down.
Well, if you're watching this on YouTube or maybe listening to the podcast after the fact, get in touch with us and let us know if you're a Stadia user. Leave us a comment on YouTube or throw something in our Discord server. Just tag Brian or myself. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, because I'd be interested to hear a real world position of, is it actually worth it? Because nothing from the outside seems that way. But if someone's using it and they get value of it, I'd be interested to hear that. Like, is it really that good? Or why not just get an Xbox? Like, what's their reasoning?
Yeah, well, hopefully somebody will reach out. E3 is coming up, Brian, and
yes,
pretty big announcement with E3 is that the Evil Empire in Valve will be attending, which is something that is not normal. They're going to be part of the PC Gaming Show, which is hosted by PC Gamer. At least it always has been in the past. According to an announcement from PC Gamer, who hosts the show, they will be showing up to E3 with a, quote, message regarding Steam. Couldn't be any more vague than that, but that is the report. So,
well, yeah, and they're saying that it's the Steam Pal, that they've been talking about, hoping it's announced at this. But they're saying in this article, they're expecting it to be, just something with an Intel or AMD processor that lets you project your gameplay onto a TV or monitor, just like a Switch. I don't know. It may be like a Switch, but that seems like a very generic explanation. It's not just projecting something onto your monitor. It's a gaming device. So it'd be interesting if they do announce that.
In other Steam news, Brian, I don't know if you saw this. AMD passed 30% in the CPU market share on the Steam hardware survey for the first time ever, as a part of the May 2021 Steam survey. 30%, which is good. It's the first time being over 30%, as they're continuing to pick away at Intel's kind of stranglehold on the PC gaming market. So pretty interesting to see.
Oh, and one thing I wanted to mention too is that, like, a month ago, Gabe Newell, he actually teased what he called a Steam-related console announcement. That's got to be the Steam Pal. But he did say a month ago that he would be doing a Steam-related console announcement. That very, very likely, though, could be instead that one of their old games, classic games, is going to console. A game is really, one of their games is being released on console. Could be another. I think maybe Portal. Portal is that on
Portal's
console?
already on console. Yeah. Portal.
Is it on console?
Portal.
I'm trying to think of what else.
I played Portal 2 on the Xbox
Half-Life?
360. It's on there. It's called the Orange
I mean,
box.
it could be remastered. What do you? I mean, I don't know. That would be the other thing I could think of, is maybe one of their games being remastered and released on console or something like that. So
potentially, not a clue.
We will see. Yeah,
We absolutely
it's
will.
all rumor at this point.
So that's Valve and that's Steam and AMD, I guess.
All right. All right, let's do one more hardware thing. I think we're getting close on that. So they've had a breakthrough recently, and this is going to really affect electronics in general, with how they can do they can generate electricity from the environment. This is something you've seen in kind of sci-fi things, but they're looking at what they call them energy scavenging carbo nanotube tech to get rid of wires.
Okay.
And what it does is, for instance, you would never have to charge your mouse or keyboard. You could have a wireless one, and it would just keep getting energy
It's got a
and
nuclear reactor
recharging
in it.
itself. Well, okay. So what they do is they actually they take these. I think they take these carbon nanotubes, and then they steal electrons from surrounding polymers on them, because they put some sort of like a chemical or something around it, and then it's supposed to, out of the air, be pulling electricity, probably very slowly. But if it's something that's a very low energy use device, you could be sit there and pretty much charging a battery all day long. And then when you use it, it depletes a little bit. When you're not using it, it sits there and recharges. So, but yeah, they're looking at something like it could be coating carbo nanotubes with like a layer of fuel of some type. Was one way that they were doing it before. But yeah, they're coming up with some way that they're hoping will kind of reduce the need for wires and batteries, because you'll have a device that just sits there and kind of charges itself. You pick it up, you use it. And I think if this works, it will be a huge change in the devices and kind of what we do, with like a mouse and things that generally are very low energy.
There's a link, if you're more on the techie side, there's a link to the source of this in the show notes, which you can find at infection.
I put 2 different articles on there, for people that are interested.
Coolio.
All right, so I think that's the main thing. That's all the kind of hardware and everything else. Is there anything you'd like to?
Yeah, actually, let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit more about rumors.
Yes,
Battlefield, which frankly, haven't really heard a lot about. I don't even know what the last Battlefield was. But apparently, the next Battlefield is going to be called Battlefield 2042. Yes, following in the steps of Cyberpunk and jumping significantly forward into the future. There's a possibility that this game will take place at this point 21 years into the future. The leaks suggest that it will be the biggest map in Battlefield history. It'll have sectors, so it'll be very similar to the way that I think it was that Battlefield 3 played out. Details are still kind of sketchy at this point, but that is what we've gotten. There's supposedly going to be an announcement some point later on this week, but that's where we stand right now. So,
yeah. So in Melmos says that they should be dropping a trailer tomorrow. So we will see if that releases. If so, we'll check it out next week maybe. And also there's some screenshots. There's various screenshots. I keep seeing one where it says it's labeled Battlefield 2042. And they see another one where it's called Battlefield 2021/Battlefield 6. Who knows? But yeah, they got a lot of pictures in between these two articles. You can go check them out and see kind of it. They don't look
anything too crazy. No.
I mean, they're not too crazy. It's just a couple scenes.
Yeah, but interesting.
Yep. So that is happening. Let's talk about more leaks. We're on the track of leaks.
Yeah.
Okay. So Stalker 2, their build 2011 has been leaked online. So
what does that mean?
So the actual game hasn't been released yet, right? But a build of it has been released. So they were from early versions of Stalker 2. But yeah, so this was an early build. So I don't know if there's like certain source code. I'd have to see how.
There does appear to be some source code. There's some sort of editor thing that they've got here. Ray editor. I don't know what that is. But yeah, some sort of code, it appears.
Yeah, so this is from what they can tell, materials, assets, scripts from Stalker 2 that have been leaked, and not the UE4 executable file or in order to load these assets, users will have to use the X-ray editor. Okay, so that's what they're doing. So there's no executable for them to play the game, but they can use that X-ray editor program to load it up and then see the assets. And you can see them kind of messing around in the editor. So that's what that is. So people are getting access to see things they're not supposed to.
There's no logic behind them. There's no gameplay.
They can't sit there and run the game or do any of that. I mean, there might be some files they need, but most of this is just stuff to go look at the assets.
Interesting.
Another one that what happened a while ago, and it seemed like it kind of dropped off. But remember all the Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077 source code, all those things that were stolen. Those are now on torrent sites. So we were wondering, is maybe someone, I know supposedly they got some sort of a bid, something happened.
They were trying to sell it for some crazy amount.
Yeah, it's now it's on torrents. I put an image, to like the README file that they had included in there, but it just looks like it. Yeah, it looks like they've just released it for some reason. They have a few things about it, but they are doing something. They said, we announced a charity. I want to get your opinion on this. We announced a charity fundraising. The donation rewards are the archive passwords for $10,000 each. So what they want you to do is donate to them for the passwords of the archives, $10,000 each. And then they say they're going to donate that money to charity.
Did you see? I haven't read any of the details on it yet. I've been a little out of the loop and it's very off topic. Did you see that apparently the FBI has said that they were able to seize the Bitcoin that Colonial Pipeline sent to that hacking group?
I would believe it. Most people don't realize
it seems to be impossible. Because I mean, the way that blockchain works, that seems impossible.
The only way that the possible way of infiltrating blockchain is to have more of you than of them, because then you can overrun it.
Oh, because you're saying if the FBI had
if they launched
the ledger,
server farms and just overwhelmed it, they could make changes to it that couldn't be disputed.
Ledger.
That's the danger of. That's why you want a huge market. You want tons and tons of people, to where the cost of trying to do something like that is just unruly. So, it just wouldn't happen, right? But if you have a small little thing, you could. It has happened before. It has happened in the past.
PH is saying that they stored the keys, the private keys, on a server. The cloud server got accessed by the FBI. But in terms of blockchain
that's something
itself,
different. But there has been one where they've actually gone in, and there was a market. And I think the problem is because it was small enough, they hit 51% of the ledger of the ledger, and they then were able to do whatever they wanted because there was nobody to dispute it because they were the majority.
That's pretty crazy.
And they took over a whole market and really messed it up.
Was that Silk Road?
Something like that. I read about it. And I don't remember the exact name.
There's either a movie coming out or is out about the Silk Road, the guy that started Silk Road and was making billions of dollars a year. Apparently it's pretty good. I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's out yet, but that could be pretty interesting.
Yeah. And I saw, there's some pretty interesting things that I watched, just documentaries about what they did trying to, catch like these Russia hacks and all this, and just seeing what they have access to. Because I remember them talking about, going through and like verifying certain Bitcoin transactions because they're recording like every transaction and everything that comes in and out of the United States. It's just, it kind of surprised me the amount that they have to be able to see that they can see into those technologies. So there's a lot. I don't know. It's just, we will see. I thought this was interesting. These guys are claiming these are donations of $10,000 a piece. I'd like to see where these donations are actually going to.
Yeah, donations straight to them, straight to my Swiss bank account. Yeah, exactly.
so that is a little bit of hacking news. So if you're interested in that, you can go check it out.
Excellent. Show notes will be on the website, infectionpodcast.com. Let's do a little game update news, Brian. We've got an update from PUBG. Their update 12.1. And there's actually a video for this, which is cool. So let's go ahead and roll into this video quickly, and we'll hear a little bit about the update and some of the changes and features, and we'll discuss those right after this.
A return to the newly improved Badlands of Miramar, a new system to up your weapon cosmetics game, a
And
new
an
custom
echo on
match,
the audio
and
for some
more
reason.
as we dive into the Update 12.1 patch report. First up, Miramar is back with another, more robust rework. Our sophomore 8x8 map now features improved textures for added realism, and a general cleanup of terrain to make it easier to see which areas can be scaled. We've also done an extensive pass on lighting to showcase the warm, dry atmosphere, while bringing the visual realism on par with our more recent maps. Updated Miramar also includes a brand new off-road vehicle, the ATV, and a powerful, armor-piercing sniper rifle in care packages. The two-seater ATV boasts a 110km top speed and is exclusive to Miramar. The Lynx AMR is PUBG's first 50 caliber weapon, capable of destroying weak vehicles such as a motorcycle with just one shot. The Lynx can even pierce the otherwise bulletproof windows of the BRDM to snipe players inside the vehicle. The downside of the new anti-material rifle is you only get 5 shots with no way to reload, so use them wisely. This is our biggest update to Miramar yet, so be sure to let us know your feedback on the new and improved Badlands. Up next, we've added a new way to obtain and improve weapon skins with the weapon skin upgrade system. Every season, we'll update new weapon skins called progressive weapons that can be updated using components you collect from deconstructing extra skins you have or by opening contraband crates with G-Coin or BP. The more you upgrade these special weapons, the cooler your new skin looks with visual improvements to attachments, enemy death boxes, animations, the kill feed, and more. You can even unlock a battle stat counter for these weapons, so upgrade to your heart's content. The first progressive weapon dropping is the Gearhead Barrel, so start digging through those contraband crates to try and find yours and get upgrading. Other updates include a new race custom match setting, a silly new way to entertain yourself in the pre-game lobby, improved bots that drop from the plane like normal players now, the start of Ranked Season 12, and much more. So be sure to check out the patch notes for full details. Season 12 is here, so upgrade some weapon skins, or just grab yourself a new Lynx and drop back into the Badlands.
Are they going to show that little thing at the end of their video like they do? Wasn't it PUBG that was showing that weird ATV thing going through the streets at the end of their videos? Was that them or somebody else?
I don't think so. I don't remember that.
Them? I could have sworn on some of the PUBG updates, but there was like a little like there was like the video would end and then there would be like a 5-second thing of like an ATV driving through a street, like a big like SWAT vehicle driving through a street. Maybe
I don't remember that.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Oh.
No, I don't know. All right. So that's one thing. They're updating some of the old maps. I mean, they've got 4 maps now. It's
something like that.
Something around 4 maps. The Miramar was one that I think it was one of their earlier ones. Very different. It was their first desert map, right? I think that was Miramar. So yes. I can understand why, because it was all new textures, way different. Probably have updated and things have improved since then. Okay, so my wife has been playing No Man's Sky, and I know you haven't started yet.
I haven't, even though I said I was going to. I'm a filthy liar, Brian.
Now, you do play Xbox, correct?
I have not turned my Xbox on in...
I was going to say, so maybe over the weekend or sometime, you could always jump in and play on our session.
I could if I was going to be around and I'd have to renew my Game Pass. Which is fine.
Okay.
I got all my, but Brian, I tell you what, I am reigning in Bing rewards, my friend. It is raining Bing rewards in this bitch. Using Bing as my search engine, I have got billions and billions and billions of Bing coins or whatever the hell they call them.
Perfect.
So I'm chilling.
Okay, well, that works then. If you do decide you want to, she's been playing it, every couple nights she's been playing through some more, really enjoying it. She hasn't really played that kind of a game yet. She didn't play Elite Dangerous. She hasn't played this style of game. The closest thing she has as reference is like ARK, which she enjoyed playing ARK, but it was, it's a lot to get into. This is a little more casual because your body doesn't stay there all the time. You actually can log out for a couple days. But she's been enjoying it, kind of figuring it all out. The update, they just released a new update, which actually improves the graphics. So let's go ahead and play that really quickly. This is the trailer for what they're calling Prisms. And it does a lot of visual updates to it and a couple other things they're fixing. But this is the one we're currently playing on. So it'd be interesting to see your opinion from what you remember the original videos looking like that people were releasing.
All right, let's take a look.
This is version 3.5, the Prisms Update. A visual overhaul for No Man's Sky. Explore new detailed cave biomes with volumetric lighting effects. Flying creatures can now become pets and be ridden. New rain effects refract light, with surfaces becoming wet. Hair and fur rendering increased creature variety. Light is refracted realistically by glass and liquids. Photo mode has been improved to take even more awe-inspiring images. Thousands of distant stars are now visible in space and night skies. New warp effects show greater depth and detail. Screen space reflections allow new reflective materials. Many biomes have increased detail and draw distances. Particle effects have been enhanced. Space interiors have been improved with new reflective materials and lighting. Explore the universe like never before. Our journey continues.
So
I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks better. We'll just have to see. She's gone to a few planets, but she's really starting to get to the point where she's like upgrading her ships, and I think that's at the point where it'll start. Because that, for me, Elite Dangerous, the fun part was when my goal was there's this really awesome ship I wanted, and I would do whatever to get that ship. I think at that point, that's when it's going to really open up for her.
Since you have played Elite Dangerous, and you've watched her play this, do you feel that the controller is sufficient enough for the game?
Yes.
They've got
this
it very
is
well
much
optimized.
more simplified. Yeah, this is much more simplified compared to Elite Dangerous. And with Elite Dangerous, I've got a little bit of news, which is we can talk about that next, actually.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But there's been, not the latest update that they put out for that, the Odyssey update. There's been a lot of flack from that. There's been a lot of flack from the streaming community, people that have been playing this a lot, just quitting because of all the bugs. Now, I don't necessarily think that that's a great idea because this is an early alpha release, and that's not when you decide to quit. But I see on that side, there's a lot of frustrations. This one, No Man's Sky, they've been improving a lot. The engine's getting better. There's a lot of the things they're improving. They're adding more features, things to keep people busy. So right now, I would recommend, even though Elite Dangerous, can be fun, I think there's more to do right now in No Man's Sky. And as far as the polish. Now, I haven't played Odyssey, the newest Odyssey yet, but from what I've seen, people are having a lot of issues with it anyways. So that's the Prisms update. And we got on there. I've got a couple articles you can go look at, get some screenshots and things, see some other things than what were on the video. But this should be in production, I think, right now. I assume the one that we were running on the Xbox is this, because there has been no update coming out for the last couple of days. So
gotcha.
I'm pretty sure we're already there.
Excellent. All right, No Man's Sky. I eventually, one of these days, maybe by the time I have grandkids, I'll get back into
play some No Man's Sky with them.
Get back into No Man's Sky. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and just really quickly, so Elite Dangerous, there's been a lot of, like what this article says is malaise over Odyssey. The Elite Dangerous Distant Worlds 3 has been postponed indefinitely because of the bad reception that Odyssey has gotten. Their Steam reviews are just really bad. The stock price has dropped very consistently. So that's something to kind of keep an eye on as well. People are not having a lot of confidence currently in what's going on there. So not looking good right now for the developers of Elite Dangerous. This is early on. They're going to keep polishing, but we'll see.
trying to look at the reviews on Odyssey. Of course, Steam is down, but according to how Google has got, or Bing rather, I don't use Google, how Bing has got it archived, it looks like it's currently sitting at less than 50% positive reviews out of 4.6. That's like what Bing has cached on like the little tagline.
Yeah.
So that obviously did it come out 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? It wasn't hot when it first came out. The reviews DLC
I think
sucked.
I think it was. Let me get the release.
It was a couple weeks.
It's been
ago.
like a week or two. Yeah.
But apparently the review again. I don't know if it's changed, but the reviews still do not appear to look too hot.
So 2 weeks ago.
Steam will
right
be
about
back
2
up.
weeks ago. It's the 19th.
Okay, Steam will be hopefully back up by the time the show ends, so we'll come back to it. But as it looks right now, still not cruising high on review. The base game Elite Dangerous still has great reviews. But
Odyssey
that
one's good.
DLC,
This is the expansion,
which is a separate SKU and a separate thing inside of Steam, does not. So just
I went
it's
right
$40. I mean, this is an expensive DLC. This is not some $4.99 or even $29.99. You're talking $40 full dollars. For the DLC on top of the $30 base game. So
yeah, and hopefully I'm sure they'll be able to bounce back, but right now they're kind of in a funk, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
All right. So kind of on that same topic, let's talk about CD Projekt Red, right?
Okay.
I think so. Their stocks, of course, since Cyberpunk was released, just dropped very heavily. Really? Yeah, and so I'm not super surprised, but yeah, their stocks plummeted, and then a video got leaked or put out, or someone found it, of a montage that the developers made prior to releasing the game, just showing off some of the ridiculous bugs. And I think they were going to do it as hey, look at the bugs that we were seeing in the game. Problem is, a lot of these bugs were still in the game when they released, so people aren't finding them as funny. Is that a chicken? He's carrying a giant chicken.
I don't know what that was.
Looked like a giant chicken. So
Oh my gosh.
I saw a lot of videos on YouTube of this happening in the game, but this one's from the developers. So there you go. Whoa.
I feel like I'm playing H1Z1 all over again.
I know.
The server desync.
The map kind of looks the same as H1Z1 right now, too.
Huh. All right. Well.
So that was them trying to get everything working. But a lot of these things were, I don't know. I saw videos of a lot of similar things happening when they released. So they didn't figure them all out in time. They have been releasing updates, though. Keep that in mind. They have been releasing updates, and there's one that's supposed to fix a lot of bugs that they put out in the last week or so.
Excellent.
But yeah, that's where we're at. All right. Here's one I thought you might enjoy. Is Rust. They put out a new update, and I know that you like the was it IFFT? What's the one where it automates?
IFTTT.
IFTTT?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, yes. So IFTTT, they integrated some additional things for that that I think you'd find interesting. First of all, they have a contact system. So now you can actually have contacts from in the game that kind of goes across, I think, various platforms, if I remember correctly.
It uses Rust Plus as the interface.
Yeah, so it's using their back end. So that, regardless of what you're doing it on, you can do it on the little mobile app that they have or in the game. And then also, they're doing like wire coloring coding, and they're making a bunch of changes. The thing that I found interesting is they've set it up now where in that IFTTT, you can go through and you can have things happen when your base gets raided and all that. So like I saw one where someone was sharing one where you can have it to where your office lights flash if you get 100%. Killed in Rust.
Yeah.
So if your character dies, something indicates to you that your character just died.
If you can get integration into IFTTT, you can do anything you want. So, I mean, realistically, you could have a siren and all the lights in your house turn red if your base is getting ready. You could do some really cool stuff with that.
Yeah, and well, this one now it's built in. So this is the IFTTT support is now built into the Rust Plus app.
Yes.
So you can make it so where Rust Plus then notifies IFTTT, and you can have it indicate and do all kinds of things.
So like here's an example.
Or work with other devices.
So this is some of the hooks on IFTTT. This trigger fires when one of your smart alarms in Rust is triggered. A smart alarm triggered by a specific keyword. So if somebody types something in chat, you could get triggered. When you get killed, when you're killed by another player, and when a teammate comes online. So you could use that to keep track of what's going on in your servers. God, I wish H1Z would have done this back in the day.
Done stuff like this, yeah.
Oh, would have been so cool.
Well, and let's just kind of jump really quickly onto the onto some of these images, because if you look like the wire coloring coding, I just want to show some examples. They just have a simple paint system. You paint a wire, and then it will be whatever color, so it's easy to trace, or if you want to make a mini game out of it or something.
Yeah.
But you can go through and color those wires now, and then they have. Well, they have a demo shot system, which is for people that are making videos and things like that, where you can create camera shots, field of views with specific field of views and things like that. The thing that I thought was interesting is towards the bottom, they have the updated animals, and you can see some of these updated animal skins. And compared to what the old ones look like, this is a night and day difference. Wow. Looks way better.
Look awesome.
Oh yeah. I mean, that boar I have pigs, so I know what they're supposed to look like. That looks perfect.
Yeah.
Like that, as far as the shape and everything.
Yeah.
That's really good. The animals, the bear, like they have one down below where you can see the side by side of the old versus the new, and there's pretty big difference in as far as quality. I mean, just look at the deer on the left. This is the old deer when it was just standing there. They're not good. You can see with the boar, same thing. Their old way of movements just was not realistic at all.
And it's also flat. Like it's got no, like it's fur and it's whatever a pig has is flat. It's all painted. It's not, there's no hair. Even though, look at the wolf. I mean, Christ, the other one just looks like a freaking dog.
Like a dog. Yeah.
Now it's got.
But who knows if it was supposed to originally on be a dog and then they made like half a wolf. We textured it.
But it looks good. The bear's the biggest. I mean, the bear is literally completely flat.
Oh, yeah.
Now you can see its hair moving around. Very cool looking. Looks great.
Yeah. So that is some of the changes they've done. I think looks really good. So for the people that are playing Rust, look forward to that. Excellent. All right. So we're kind of running out of time. So I've got a couple that we'll hit really quick. Okay. ARK, they released Genesis Part 2. Let's go ahead and play that video really quick so we can get that out of the way. This is the ARK Genesis Part 2 expansion pack video, which will show some of the new biome. I mean, it's a whole new map and some of the new creatures and everything else that they've added.
All right, let's take a look.
Oh man, that's really got you good. No worries, just hang in there for a second. This isn't a simulation. We're really on a ginormous spaceship.
Now what are you two little gnats up to? This is to be mine. The first Red.
Perfect. They got mechs.
So this
so
is
you're
like,
gonna-
that's a, what are those games called? Like
Top View.
Command and Conquer, whatever
Yeah.
that style of game is.
Yeah, so you can do overhead view and put all your things to attack. Come on.
This looks like World of Warcraft.
Gatling gun. I know. They got a lot of mini games or something. You know, like it almost seemed like mini games on some of these.
I don't know what I'm watching.
Maybe these are
like,
bosses.
I have no idea. What is the game?
This is where you
I mean, yeah, I don't know where they're going. I wonder if there's more of a story if they actually managed to kind of, because it looks like there's dialogue,
Rockwell, this is where your nightmare
like dungeons or something.
We're finishing this now.
It must be like the final boss.
Require immediate communication.
Here's your segue into ARK 2.
Jeez Louise. I mean, for our audio listeners, you're going to have to go and watch that video because that was 3.5 minutes of, I have no idea what this is going to be. I mean, it literally looks like, it looks like an MMO. I mean, it literally looks like World of Warcraft. You're fighting all these weird creatures and things.
Yeah.
PH is wondering if there's a gas leak over at Studio Wildcard. Maybe they're all high. I don't know. I have no idea what I just watched. That doesn't even seem like ARK.
It seems very different. There's a lot. I mean, there's some cool things in there.
I just don't know what. I don't know
like,
what any of it means.
Yeah, I mean, how's that? It looked like there was a lot of like quests.
Yeah,
you know, you know how they do.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's just that would be nicer is if they went through and just kind of had a prolonged. Okay, you're starting something, and we're going to take you through a story. You know, so that because I assume they're trying to now actually tell a story in the last part, so that they can have this whole ARK 2 thing work. You know, that it naturally segues. You saw a teaser at the end of that. I just think that that's going to be kind of the direction that they're going. So, but I would assume there's going to be a lot of story and a lot of things like that in here.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, this is the part that I hadn't seen any hints of this.
Yeah, this is what is the style of game? The what is the Command and Conquer? Come on, somebody in the chat.
It's a what? Not it's a 2.5. Is that a 2.5 view?
An RTS, real time strategy. That's what I was looking for.
RTS, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, yep. But we'll see. This is the final ARK DLC before ARK 2.
Looks like
right,
looks like ARK 2 practically. I mean, this if this is what is ARK 2 going to be if this is not ARK 2?
Well, ARK 2, I think from the teasers we've seen, I think the big deal with that is it's going to be under Unreal Engine 5. I think that it's going to be released with all the high quality resolutions and all those features, because what we saw in some of those teasers with ARK 2, you know, with the videos and the things that they were showing, that looked incredibly high detail for an open world game. I would assume that probably that's going to be one of the first games that they release on Unreal Engine 5, or you know, whenever they get that out. But this is going to be probably their next game that they released on Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing. We don't really have to cover it. We're like almost out of time, but Fortnite.
We got 5. We got a couple minutes left.
Okay, well then let's show some of the new stuff with Fortnite. Fortnite released their new season 7, and their new battle pass. So let's go and do the video for the first one. This is Chapter 2, Season 7, Battle Stars, and the new battle pass. They've made some changes to the recent version, and then there's some things shown off in the battle pass after that.
Let's do the Fortnite.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's take a look.
Welcome to Chapter 2, Season 7, Fortnite's Invasion Season. We got aliens, we got spaceships, fun, fantastic, and crazy new weapons. What can I say? This season is out of this world. That's right, your boy Mooney is back to talk about changes to this season's Battle Pass, where you choose which rewards to claim. This season's Battle Pass brings back Battle Stars, your way to claim all of the season's rewards. Collect those stars and exchange them to get the Battle Pass rewards you want in the order you want them. As you progress, you'll unlock access to additional pages of rewards to choose from. Collect all of the rewards on a page to gain access to the locked rewards. If you haven't purchased a Battle Pass, you'll still be able to claim free pass rewards on each page using battle stars you collect from just playing. Each time you level up, whether you gained XP by playing or bought a level with V-Bucks, you'll get 5 more battle stars. As usual, you can get all 100 Battle Pass rewards by reaching level 100. Get Galactic, snag those stars, and unlock your favorite rewards. Until next time, I've got somewhere to be!
All right, listen up. We don't have much time. We now stand at the brink of war. With an enemy we do not understand. We face impossible odds. And invaders within our ranks. But we have something they don't. A reason to fight. Whether you've always been here, or you're a visitor from another star. This island is ours.
What in the hell?
And if it's war they want, we'll give it to them.
So, which I think is going to segue into their new mode, which is part of that Save the World version. You remember we were talking a couple weeks ago about them possibly releasing a game mode, based off the whole Save the World thing.
Yeah.
Maybe this invasion thing is that you are kind of warding off all these invaders, and you're trying to build a base. That would be the perfect segue this season. That story into that game mode of Save the World. Which Save the World, invasion, I mean, it's like they're coming together to be like, oh, and here we finally are releasing 1.0 of Save the World.
I mean, Brian,
and they're giving the game away to people who have that pass.
At this point, Brian,
Save the World.
I have zero idea what the direction of Fortnite is. And if PHS, how do we fit in Superman with that, Brian? That's a good point.
They've got a Batman pack right now. They've got all kinds of. They got almost
Joker's
every
in there.
superhero
Harley
you can
Quinn
imagine.
is in
Joker,
there. Yeah,
Harley Quinn. Yeah, and so that's the issue. They're getting tons of IP things that will stay in the game because they can't. They license it and they don't have to pull it out. They're releasing some new game modes, which are getting a little bit away from the whole BR. They're adding things that are not BR into the game mode here soon. I think. Maybe this is them figuring out, is BR still going to keep going this direction? That's made huge money for them. But I'm wondering if they're going to start going a little bit different direction and making it so there is a BR mode, but then there's also other modes. So if that BR kind of becomes less popular, people don't leave Fortnite. So we will see. But that is also, they've updated the specs for Fortnite on PC.
Okay. So
Fortnite gets a graphics upgrade for a lot of those things. So it says a significant graphics overhaul as part of the game's 17.00 update, which came out today. And so they said already looks good on PC, but now you can run the Epic setting on. It has a list of the various hardware that would need to be doing, and then the recommended specs. So they've made changes to where you can up your graphics more with less of an impact.
So their new PC specs for Epic is NVIDIA GTX 1080, an AMD Radeon RX 5700 XT or equivalent GPU. So those are the minimums for Epic. The recommended settings are still the same, which is a GTX 960 and R9 2080, or 280 rather. And then the minimum specs, an Intel HD 4000 or Intel Iris Pro 5200.
That is a laptop.
Dude, the minimum specs is a 3rd generation i3. Those came out in like 2012. An i3 I don't think I'm that far off. I need to guess myself. The Intel.
Yeah.
the i3.
I mean, I've seen these on some old.
This was launched. Yeah, I was right. Q3 of 2012. So pretty amazing.
The fact that they're able to do that, they're getting the game to run on a 2012, which is 9-year-old hardware.
For all intents and purposes, it's a decade old.
So I mean, that's a good sign. The fact that they're able to get that to happen.
Well, it's because and without stroking them too hard here, this is a family friendly show. What this really speaks to, Brian, is the optimization in Unreal Engine. The fact that it allows, and I know it's their engine, but it allows developers to offer their game to such a wide gambit of specs and different, computers that are available. Of course, PH mentions consoles. They also have phone versions of the game. So the fact that Unreal Engine can allow you to play, allows this wide, shift or wide window of specs is pretty cool.
Well, and also I'm kind of curious when they're going to start implementing Unreal Engine 5, because there'll be a point where they switch us over to Unreal Engine 5. I wonder at what point we'll start seeing some of the things like with the textures, just some of those big improvements that they've made, the lighting system. I'm assuming they're pushing that, but they're not going to release an unstable version on Fortnite. There's just it's a billion, however many billions of dollar income for them. They're not going to risk that. Yeah. But this will be interesting to see how they're going forward. Are they going to up the graphics? Now that they can handle, or are they going to keep it to where it pretty much runs on anything?
I would assume
they're going to hit that point.
I would assume
they're going to have to decide between the two.
With the upgrade to Unreal Engine 5, that lower spec will probably drop off pretty dramatically, would be my guess.
Yeah.
PH says he thinks that PH says this. I think that Fortnite will hit UE5 before it gets an official engine release. I thought quite the contrary. I thought that they would release it to the public.
It'll be the first thing.
I would have thought that because the game is so popular that they would release it to the public, allow other games to kind of find the issues per se, and kind of them be the beta test. I'm sure that I would gamble right now that they've got a working version of Fortnite on Unreal 5.
On Unreal Engine 5. Oh yeah, for sure.
But I have a feeling that they'll allow other games to maybe be the public beta test it. But then PH also mentions that they might parade it hard themselves. They might. It's kind of two different approaches. One, it could go really well as long as the engine is in a good shape.
If they're that confident in the stability,
you could trash your game if it's unstable, doesn't run well, has rampant issues. The question is going to really be how sufficient is their QA testing, and I don't know.
If they can get a point where they feel it's incredibly stable, I think that they will run Fortnite at a version or two kind of prior to what we're seeing in public. I think that they'll be running it internally before they release it. Now, the thing is, when they release the engine, then a bunch of bug fixes happen. So that's a dangerous thing for them to do, as you were saying. Like, that's a big risk. So it may be safer for them to always lag, their Unreal Engine to a couple back from to the most stable one. But it really depends. If they feel it's that stable, they could go for it. But that could really bite them if they misjudge and the thing ends up just crashing and being unruly and unable to run. So,
all right. Well, that covers all of our notes, Brian, which is great.
Yes.
I guess I'll say all right. Well, we'll see you next week. Where can people find you on the internet, Mr. Brian?
Yeah, if you want to find me at Brian Aldridge on Gab and Parler, or you can go to my blog, biteoftech.com. It's BITE. Of course, go to our website, infectionpodcast.com. If you check out on the right-hand side, just join our server on Discord. Come hang out. We got a bunch of ARK servers. We got the new ARK map running on one of the servers. So you can go check that out. Also, news channel if you want to submit topics that you think we should be covering. If there's something we're not that you think we should, just go put a link in there. We have our Steam group where if you get a notification before the live show starts. We also have our video forms of the podcast, Twitch, YouTube, BitChute, and DLive. And then our audio-only forms at the lower right-hand side. Those are not live, but you can listen to those after the fact. And then we also have on there our subscribe star, a couple of ways that you can support us. And there's a support tab up top if you want to do that. And then our show notes. If you go to our show notes, you can follow along, click all the links. And if you're going to be listening to it, there's a player in there for audio and video. and also links for every topic that we discuss. So if you're going to listen, it's a great way to kind of see, especially with some of the videos. We showed a lot of videos today, and I think if you are listening, I would encourage you to go to the show notes, watch the videos, because it'll really add to what we're saying and help you get a good understanding. So thank you very much.
Did you like the episode art for the last show?
Oh yes.
Did you like?
I did notice it.
Did you like how we photoshopped a poor version of the show into the computer using the warp and distort tool inside of Photoshop?
I like that. It's like a curved monitor. I like it.
It is. It's very, 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 very curved. I put a lot of
wind and sun.
Yeah, put a lot of time into the show, into the episode art here after the show. So, Brian, thank you very much as always. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Thanks.
Alrighty, folks, that is going to do it. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Infection. We're here live every Tuesday around 7 o'clock. The show runs about an hour or so. My name, of course, come on, you already know, it's Nick Craig. You can follow me on various social media sites at Nick. If you want to check out my day job, you can do so, nickcraig.com. We'll be on the air here in just a few short hours with another day of news and information for the coast of southeastern North Carolina. That's going to do it for another episode, folks. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.